Hello there everyone and welcome back to the second piece on my final year project, Concept Design. Now I just want to make sure to say before I start this, I will be using the same playlist as last time, so you're going to notice a lot of music with this and the last video are the complete same. And that this is also my second attempt doing this after the program I used, Psy, crashed the first time around. Basically my idea is to run up quickly a idea of the user experience at separate stages. So without further ado, we're going to start by looking at the pre-game stuff. This will include, a splash screen for the game, and on top, this will include a company screen. Now, these are important. I will be also adding in here a warnings scene. These are important. These come before the game and basically allow you to load it up. For companies, we'll be starting off by very simply... Oh, Photoshop is finally loaded. Sorry guys, give me a second. I'm loading up Photoshop for text because as Psy unfortunately does not have a text tool, so it can be very awkward to work with. I'm just going to make sure it's staying on site because I do have Photoshop as an accessible channel for the recording software. Now I do have to wait just for this thing to load up my folders so I can grab a logo that I like to use. I see it will crash. Here's to give it a minute, as this is Psy is not the best program out there, but for accessibility it is really easy to use. Oh dear, it has... There it is. Oh, I was about to have a bit of a panic attack. It did the exact same thing before it crashed last time. Everything in this background area here goes blurry and it's a nightmare. So I'm just going to scroll through my mess of a folder and just find... It's a JPEG. I don't want the JPEG. I want the IL basic PNG. This is the logo that I use for everything. So basically I'm just inserting myself here. So this will represent the logos of companies that support the app or help it run, things such as the Unreal Engine or so-and-so. Unreal Engine, Unity, whatever company helps publish out. Now this isn't a highly important screen because of the context. This more requires the app to have gotten traction and be on its way. This may not happen, however. So I'm not doing anything special here, I'm just simply creating a very small and quick logo that I can PNG over top. I need to just go to find my folder, which is... I actually have a new folder set out now for this. So I need to create a new folder titled Assets, please. Okay, I've now got a new folder and new folder too, that will do. Oh, that's saving as a... I want to say it was a PNG, as it will only use this once. I do not need the folder for it, and it can also be easily... I guess I should allow you guys to see what I am doing quickly, so give me a second. I will just swap Photoshop on, there we go. And also on text formats, we can now hide these. And as a new text document, which is going to make this a bit easier to see. And this will be for a separate screen in it. I don't know what the actual pre-game message is, so this is just a quick example of basically something that would appear at the start of the game. This is an example. I know it's probably one of the worst possible kind of examples. As you know, the saying is adult. It's not saying there's adult themes in this game, because there might not be adult themes. This is just currently the ideas of blood and any form of violence that some people may not like. Now I'm going to take Photoshop off, and we're going to go back here to Psy. We are going to open up and use what I've just made. We're going to do this just to represent a company's logo kind of emerging. And behind this logo, just to help stand out, which I'm just going to do a bit of blur editing up here, because it's something I always noticed. I ended up doing it as a square, and it means that this bit up here never did blur properly. So I just need to... Oh, this has changed. It's fuzzy-tastic. I wonder why I always saw fuzzy around it. I'm just going to make that into a proper circle. Show the light, and we are just going to put a small white circle behind it. And this will help the logo stand out against the background, which would be relatively darker in the final version. It wouldn't be this kind of brownish black color, or this very light black color, like almost grey black. Instead, it will be a proper color. And the whole idea, as I say, of this scene is just help the game load in as the user logs it up. As they turned it on, they've opened the app, and this kind of just helps them out, and it also works as promotional for the companies behind it. For a splash screen, however, it will be relatively different. What we'd have, and you'll have to excuse me here, I'm not the best at this kind of design. So that's kind of water ripple, animated water. I can't really draw water off by heart, but you know what I mean by this. Hopefully. And this is to represent safe space. as a whole. I'm gonna add a new luminosity level, just to kinda represent. And also it's important to type out what would be going on at this time. So we would have, oh, it's moved. So ambiently, you're probably wondering why am I typing drawing this rather than getting it typed up. I would like to type up my notes and write anything that isn't in there. This helps distinguish the two. So be running water or waves. And this here would be water, and of course in the center here we'd have the safe space logo. Which I have not got any designs on at the moment, but you know, as time goes, we will decide and we will work it out. So that is the splash screen. So we have our company screen, which I'm now going to just save to my new folder. We go back, new folder 2, which is going to be screenshots. Starting with our JPEG images, we have the companies. We have our splash screen. And then of course we have to have our warnings shot. So again we're going for this black background kind of thing. And we are opening up the other thing I created, the warning. Obviously it's way too small there. I'm going to try and transform and see if this will keep some good texture. And I'm going to actually darken this at the back here to that. That's simply it for our warnings. And that is it for our pre-game. So next we're going to be looking at the title screen, I believe. So obviously I've got an A4 piece here turned aside to represent the screen, by the way. It's mentioned a bit late, but I felt it was personally important to say. Okay, so warnings, title screen. Presents the user with the initial options. So I might actually take a hint out of Minecraft for this one, because their title screen I absolutely love. So the background will be a show of one of the worlds. So in this case, I'm going to go for the water of the beach setting. I didn't actually show off the beach setting in the last bit, but it'd be nice to kind of reference it in one way or another, I thought so. Obviously, I'm not going to do a huge amount because this is the background. This isn't supposed to be done. So this will be... Trying to put this. Let's... put this here and up here. Be an animated scroll of the stage with the matching ambience. So in this case I chose the beach. Now for the menu itself. I'm going to draw it in this kind of blue to kind of differentiate it from the background. Again, so we're going to start off. We have the options. Excuse me, I'm not the best at drawing straight. As weird as that sounds. And this will all be contained within a kind of what's it box. It's like this. And again, just a further, I'm just going to airbrush behind it. So it's semi-transparent. You can still totally see Arrogance on the board with it. The ocean here will not be blue, by the way. It will represent the similarity of things. I could even use an afternoon sky just to help the blue stand out a bit more. So these are all buttons here. So we will have open world. We will have settings here. Exit here. A music menu. I'm going to just actually centerline that. And from here, the player can choose whether they want to go to the open world, which then will work off the title screen, kind of thing. So I need to kind of keep the background here for it. So we're going to keep this for the time being. Save. This is our title. If this soundtrack does run out, by the way, I will be catching over. So we're going to go to the world menu first, I think, where you keep all of this stuff. And I'm just going to add a new note. So this will be the world menu. And this is idea 1 for the world menu, okay? This is not a finalized actual idea, so it keeps background. For some consistency. No. Whereas the menu was like this originally, we are going to actually... I'm going to grab the menu color just because everything's going to have this box just to kind of help it stand out. Now we're going to have it expand to a bigger box over the screen. I did not just draw that on them. This will be the world menu, where we will have a search box up here. See, worlds up here. And worlds will emerge as such in boxes. Maybe groups of 3. At a time. So you can see there's some stuff there. Now these worlds will be separated like this, with a majority, almost like photos, which are nice because they have sentimental value. So it could be quite nice for a user. Again, I will just be grabbing that other folder, this one. Now we're going to be copying and pasting this just for the sake of being lazy and kind of getting this across in a way that is suitable. We're going to be also reducing it to 57, and we're going to be stretching the damn thing. With a Frida form. So this is still all over the top kind of thing. And what we'll have here is world preview and let's actually write that out a little bit. So we'll have a world preview there, and we'll have world name underneath. This will help. So then we also have a little indication of what the user can do here. The user can this is really important. The user can scroll through their choices if need be. You can go up and down, and they can, alright, just have a good time deciding what they want. I'm going to make sure this stands out. Because that is highly important. The user can scroll through their choices by scrolling up and down with their remote. Obviously also important for the other menus where something similar happens. So we can now see this as our world options. Now I'm also going to add this on here. let's say they choose an option which is probably not safe. Okay? This fades out a tiny bit, and what will happen is we will get a bar over top. Again, we will put this kind of over top bar up here with a semi-transparency, a very semi-transparency, like. You can somewhat see, but it's like very unclear at times. Oh, and I'm just gonna shorten my brush and take this out. These are obviously separate buttons as well, and that is how the kind of thing will come up as a warning. So this is the world warnings. So let's say instead of the world menu, right, you've clicked on these two together. You've now clicked on music. Okay? And I'm going to select that source because I want to combine these two here as well quickly and make him, oops daisy. Oh no, that's about right because it's this. I want to copy this size of box kind of thing for the rest of the options, except perhaps the settings. So let's remove all this existing stuff. We don't want any of this stuff existing in the music menu. So on my draft, you'll see that there is a way to swap between music and settings. I'm not 100% sure where or how I want that just yet, which is why I'm not drawing it in at this time. However, at a later point, it will be available. This would still be a semi-translucent. You have to excuse that I'm just because I'm doing this in probably the laziest way possible. Not recommended. There's a lot of work I need to get done, and this is just one of them. I want to be able to start building this as soon as possible, so I need to get this stuff drawn up first. So, music menu. Of course, it says music up here. And of course, you'll have a search bar for certain music. What you'll also have, though, next to the search bar is a plus. This will be the additional add music menu. So what you'll have here is an inner box going down. I think that's it for my music. Oh dear, I will have to swap it over in a second, which is ironic when I'm talking about music right here, right now. And inside this box of music will be, well, first a headline box for the pre-download, and it will probably come down later down the line, but I'm going to have another box here. So I'm going to move that up a bit. We're just basically going to make it as if there's one track currently preloaded. These are the preloaded songs. I'm just going to find some new soundtrack. We're going to go over to my Fighting Spirit soundtrack. So this is going to be a lot of pumpy, jumpy stuff. And we're going to very lighten the box for the music themselves. It's like a separate box underneath. As such, now underneath it is going to be get the dark again. This is obviously there's going to be a few songs in there. This is how custom songs go in this kind of secondary playlist. It's like these are supposed to be. It's hard to show. So like this is a bit darker than the one below it. To kind of separate them out and act as a banner. So I don't want to cover up the text here. And now, when they're in a custom soundtrack, which I will show off momentarily, basically you'll again have a box with a song. But it won't go all the way to the end. This is for another feature of custom soundtracks, which is the deleting, which will be here with a cross on it. And what I also did forget to add into this was the play menu, which activates. So the play button here, you'll have your stop and pause button over here. And a progress bar in the center here, which will show how far the song has gone through. Now, I probably should go back into this as well. Again, with everything, when things are selected, they will be highlighted. So say I selected song name now has a very light highlighting to it kind of thing. And let's say it's playing and it's so far through. So it's not like so. I'm gonna just put some notes onto this one. So this is the. I'm gonna have to remove this thing because otherwise it's not gonna work. Now there is something very important which I've actually missed out on these, and I am going to go back and redo now. This here, which is a go back button. Just try and see if I lower my pen a bit more, see if that works. So that is going to be the music menu. But we're not done with the music menu. I'm now going to take it off, put on the world menu, and I'm just going to add that aforementioned go back button. Because obviously that is pretty darn important. Oops, daisy. I'm going to actually do a similar case here where I'm going to go up top and I'm going to just write some notes. So I need to grab my scrolling. Yeah, and I'm just going to shorten the scrolling actually because of that top area here, which contradicts with that there. And I'm going to show off our highlighting because it's important. It's very important to say it happens. We're going to resave this now, this world options. We'll keep the original kind of warning. Wait for it to save. Or I can add the new warning. We'll keep the old warning for now because it just stays like that. And now for the difficult bit. So I'm taking a screenshot now. And now I gotta somehow find my screenshot. Oh, it's there. There we go. So using my folder here as a kind of like a proxy. This is what happens when someone clicks the thingy button. So this custom song that's down the bottom here, for example, would not exist, but once that button's been pressed and so then that appears, and this is adding music. Once added, the soundtrack will add under here. So I'm going to actually go down to this custom soundtrack and I'm going to actually add it because I can. Like so. This will then show a definition between the two. And adds it to the bottom. So I'm just going to go to my page now and see what I've got here. What I'm still missing. I've got an open screen. I've got my music settings. I've got adding music. I need to add my settings bar. And then we will be done for this time around. So settings again is a weird one. I think I would rather kind of close all my existing, yeah, and kind of open up a new variation of the system. Worth mentioning, guys, that what I can do is that pre-game splash screen that you see here. This can be used for loading the worlds in if after. Alright, so we are starting a new brand folder. And this will be our settings menu. Oh yeah, worth mentioning is again, and I'm going to grab it from the previous screen, in that music screen, is this one. Our scrolling option, which is highly important, even in the music one. So again, it's worth mentioning that the user can scroll through choices. Instead, this time we're just gonna shorten it, just to make kind of put it over this side this time, just so this stuff here is get through it. Now, obviously, with settings, this again is an option. Why wouldn't it be an option that the user can scroll through their choices and their options? Now, returning to menus. Our settings menu will start off with a thinner box. Centralized, scrolling down. Again, we will have a go back box in the corner. Starts off first with your hand select. And smaller bars for the others options. So these will all represent anything that's going on, and these will be like scroll bars. So you can kind of scroll it up and down using the VR headsets handsets. So let's say they want volume at 50, ambience about 90. Alright. Let's again put a water brush behind this just to show that the menu does have some colour. But you can still technically see the background through it. Now, worth mentioning is these mentions. These areas will be darker, just to show where the bar is. And again, as with anything, the highlighted one will be highlighted. I'm going to do a very light blue, just so it kind of... No, you can't really see that. Okay, yellow then. Do it in a very light yellow. That way you should be able to see it quite well. So this time they've chosen the left hand. And that will be our settings menu. What I'm mentioning is that these represent volume. So as this grows, actually more bars get added. This is a common practice nowadays. So it would be nice to see it implemented here as well. And that will be my presentation today on the user interface when logging into the game. Worth mentioning is that the VR headset can be put on at any time during this, though all of this output will be through the VR headset as well as on screen, just in case someone needs to supervise. This will help in therapy use and hopefully will keep people out of trouble. So with this saving, and without further ado, respond, thank you. Without further ado, I'm calling it there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys will look forward to seeing more of my work here. Hopefully soon I shall start building the very basic template. Until then, thank you very much.